Hello everyone, I am Mohammad Atiq Shamakash and here I am. I want to talk mainly here. I want to talk with you about IELTS. You know, most of the people that they heard about IELTS, that what is IELTS, what means, and how to do that, and how to prepare for IELTS exam, or many more. And obviously most of the people obviously know that the four part of the IELTS, and everything. I think most of the people know about it, that what is IELTS. But even though a lot number of people who don't know about it clearly, that about IELTS, mainly what is IELTS. So here I want to talk about the simple description. There are some part, obviously I make this video in a part, and I think this video will be enough to know about that what is IELTS. So first of all, I want to share with you that IELTS is a mainly competitive exam, most competitive exam in mainly not in Bangladesh, it's all over the world. And here the teacher, mainly the IELTS community, that check your English, that whether you good speaker or not, and finally they are marking it that here in there are different. The highest point is 9, so if you got the 9, most of the people that don't get about the 9 score, but there are some people, if you get the 9 score, so that means you are fluently speaker, and you obviously congratulations for it if you got it. And there are also about and obviously there is also about 8, 7.5, 6.5, but most of the university want 6.5, at least 6.5. Below 6.5, that is really tough for any student. So obviously so try to make your point around 6.5, and the average is mainly the good score, but mainly the good score is 7.0. Now so what can I do? So now the first question is, what is IELTS? Mainly IELTS is the competitive exam, and here I have already told you that the IELTS community that secure English, secure grammar, secure speaking capability, secure reading capability, secure listening capability, everything they check, and finally they give the number, mainly the number about you, that whether you are a good speaker or not. And the number that mainly the number is that number determine that you have the ability to cope with the other country, and cope with the other country people. So you can tell me that other country there are other languages, obviously other language, so why English? That is the main thing is the other country is obviously the other country, that Japan there is Japanese language, in China Chinese language. But if you want to go to in USA, English obviously, but if you want to go to the abroad, mainly the English is an international language. So here the funda, mainly because English is the international language, so you have to know about so if you ever, or if you know English, or if you have the ability to speak in English, so that means you have the ability to cope with every country. that yeah, in Japan you don't know Japanese language, but you can uh, cope with them through English. So that is the main thing that is very important for everyone, that why IELTS is good, why IELTS exam is important. And and another, obviously, there are many questions that only the IELTS exam is enough to check the English capability, or is the IELTS exam is enough to go to abroad. That means if anyone have the IELTS score, so is there 100% possibility to go to the abroad? Yeah, that is obviously, no, not obviously, not all the time, because most of the university that need the IELTS score, you know, most of the university need the IELTS score. But the problem is there are other university, they know about, they obviously they want the CRE score. And sometimes there are many university, so there are different competitive exam, not IELTS. There are CRE, there are IELTS, there are CMAT, TOEFL, and many more. It depends on your university qualification, because most, but on the other hand, most of the university require the IELTS score, want the IELTS score. So, and for that reason, and for that is the reason that most of the people go for IELTS. And another, in the USA, mainly in the USA country, they also want the GRE score. GRE is a simple, GRE is a more harder exam than the IELTS, and in here, but the positive point is in GRE, there is the obviously computer based, but IELTS is also computer based, but there is also manually. Many center are here now, many centers that take this exam manually. And in the CRE there are obviously, you know what, there are in the CRE exam there are verbal and quant, two mainly two is two mainly two part. There is quant part and verbal part. In the quant part, that is totally depend on the mathematical question, but in the verbal part there is totally in the verbal, your vocabulary, mainly depend on the vocabulary. I don't know exactly, I don't know too much about it, but that is obviously, that is the main thing that you have to know. So that is the main thing you have to know. So here is the another, so obviously, so let's back to the IELTS. And let back to the IELTS. So and there is also many question arise that what if I don't have any ability, if I don't practice, I just and I just sit on the aisle. So what around the what is the, and what will be the my score? Okay, forget about it. So in the IELTS score, it is not free. You have to pay a lot amount of money in this, such as mainly in IELTS score, you if you want to sit on IELTS, you have to pay around 90,000 in Bangladeshi taka. I don't know about the other country. Mainly in dollar, it will be around around 170 or 180 around. I don't know exactly, but in Bangladesh, if you want to do this exam, if you want to sit on this exam, you have to pay 19,000. So that is a huge number of money. So and so what can I do if I so most of the people question arise in their head that if I pay 90,000 and final and then I get the score, the IELTS score, but it is not suitable for me, and so what can I do in that time? On the other hand, how can I say that? How can I say that? That yeah, that is the score. That is the score I will get if I sit on the IELTS exam. So first of all, I want to tell you that. First of all, I want to tell you that yeah, you you can. There are in every center mainly they take some mock test, and it will mainly 1000 2000 and up. If you give them 2 or 1000 2000 or 3000, and then they take the exam that is totally like IELTS. So if you crack your mock test and if you get the good number, then you will get, if you get the good score in mock test, so there is a high chance or a high possibility to get the good score. So you have to do this. You obviously, if you want to sit on IELTS exam, so first you have to take this. You have to sit on this mock test or crack your mock test, and finally you have to crack. Because if you directly go to the this exam, that IELTS exam, then you will fall in different type of problem, because in IELTS exam that you have to maintain the time, and that is very very important. So so in the mock test, I don't know, in the mock test, whatever score you get or not, but the good point is that you get the ability to maintain the timetable, and that will help you in later. So that is the one. So who is the name of the center, that which center did I which center take this exam? There are different centers, but most of that is IDP, one is British Council, and all are same. You have to just pay the money, and they will give your identity, and obviously they will provide the date, that in that date you have to sit on this exam. They will give every opportunity, they will give everything, that after completing your this exam, completing the everything, after pay your fee. So yeah, that is the main thing, most of the people that who told me about it. So now what can I do? So what is the I think that is the most of the question. And sometimes the most of the people that told to me that sometimes they pay the fee, and sometimes they get the time, that yeah, in that time this that is their examination time, they get the time, but the few days ago they fall ill, the serious illness. So it is not a problem, you have to just contact with them. I think before 10 days they will, if you before 10 days if you contact with them, there's I am serious ill, I cannot have the ability to sit on the exam. So they maybe the here the policy that they will give, they will back your money, they will pay back your money, but before 4 or 5 days they will take the specific amount with specific percentage of the money, and the rest of the money they will pay back. So here is the another chance, but obviously you have the proof, mainly you have the medical information that prove that medical information that prove that you are in serious illness. So that is the so it is the most of the question that people say. And on the other hand, there are also some question there are also some questions that arise that if I don't get the, if I did not get the score that I want, so what can I do? Simple, that you have to do it again, you have to take this exam, or you have to sit on this exam again. It is easy, you don't have to wait, or there is no there is nothing, and there is no barricade, mainly there is no barricade in this process, that I have worked on this, I have done, I have sit on this, I did not get. Sometimes you have the ability, but there are another question that if I sit the exam, I take the exam, and finally I got the result, but the result will be that it is not the result, I expect some more result. So obviously there will be some mistake. In that time you have to pay some money, and you have to EOR, that recheck your exam. And in this recheck, and in this EOR they will recheck your paper, and after recheck your paper, most of the time you will your point may be high, not most of the time, you have the chance to make your result high. So obviously that will be the plus point. So that is so here I want to I have already told you that in this video I will complete all the section of IELTS. So here is the simple description about IELTS. Now I will discuss with you the part. Mainly IELTS is not a simple exam that I have just go sit the seat. Just it is not like the academic examination that you just sit, and after writing everything, and you just go on. It is not like that. It's a competitive, I have already told you, it is a competitive exam. So in that region there are 4 parts, and every 4 part obviously that will be hard, but you have to practice enough to get a good score on this. So here the first part, and there is the 4 part I have already told you. The 4 part is reading, writing, listening, and mainly there is another part, reading, writing, listening, and reading, writing, listening. And another is, I'm sorry about that, and another is speaking. You have to speak. So all of the part I will discuss in this video. So let's first start with the reading. That what is reading? not all part. I will not all part, because if I describe the all part, the video will be long enough. So I will discuss only two part in this video, and the next two part I will discuss in another video. So let's go. So I have already told you that I want to discuss the every part of the IELTS. So obviously that will be a long video, but if the video will be too much long, then obviously I will discuss it on the later video. So first I want to discuss with you about reading section. Reading section is too much. Firstly, I want to tell you that reading section is too much hard, but the positive point is, if you but the positive point is, if you practice a lot, you will good at this. And most of the people that if you want to solve, if you try to solve the reading portion, obviously you will get the 20 plus, and that will 20 plus mark between 20-25. So in that so the score will be around 4.5 to 5 or 5.5. And but if you want to get the good number, if you want to get the good and best number, then you have to practice a lot to get the around 32 to 33 number. Because if you get the 32 or 33, then you will get the 7 or 7.5. and if you got the 7 or 7.5, that there is a high level of chance you will get the IELTS score. You will get the 7 or 7.5 overall in IELTS score, and that will also help you to get a good result, good IELTS score. So here the reading part. Obviously in the reading part, so what is the reading part? The reading part, obviously there are 3 passages, and every 3 passage, that is, first passage is easy, second is medium, and third is very hard. So you have to you have to practice a lot to get the good score. So here obviously there are some tips and tricks I will share in this video, obviously, and that will help you to get the good score on this. So the first I want to share you. The first is that here is the second, and I want to tell you there are 4 or 5 type of question. That is multiple choice, too much hard, list of heading, too much hard, completing sentence, that is medium hard, true false, obviously medium, but the fill in the blanks. There are 2 type of fill in the blanks. Here one fill in the blanks, you can in one type of fill in the blank you don't get the box, and another time we give it the box, and the box contain the different type of word, and you have to choose the word and place the word into the right area or right blanks. So obviously, so people obviously tell me that even everything is hard, so why do you tell me that if I practice a lot I will get the good mark? Yeah, obviously, because the IELTS is not an exam. It depends on your management of time. So if you manage your time very good, obviously then you will get the good result, and you will get the and that will help you to get a good mark. Most of the people I see that when they get the question paper, they just thoroughly read the whole passage, the two, even the passage will be two pages, and if you read the two passages and then you go to the answer sheet, you will get nothing. That is the trap. And the IELTS community obviously want this. They want to trap you. They want to trap you so that you can come here again. So you have to play very carefully. So the first thing is, there is the passage, first passage. So you don't have to read the whole passage. I already told you it is the trap. So if you read all the passages, obviously you don't get anything in your brain. You don't store any information, because the large number of information that make you just it feel like drowsy. And obviously you will, I have told you that it is a time management game. Obviously it is a time management game. So if you manage your time carefully, you will get the good score. So here I want to tell you that don't read the passage. Don't read the passage. You have to read the question first, and there is also an order. You have to answer the question, because if you want to answer serially, that is also a trap. Because in the list of heading, if you try to crack the list of heading, then the list of you have to read all the passages, and after reading passage you have to think that what will be the heading. So obviously that will take too much time. And if you crack and most of the time the list of heading will be wrong, because I don't know the main reason, but they give you some wrong heading. That is quietly true, not completely. So that is the trap. And if you read the passage and finally get back to the heading, and you just see there is a lot of chance to pick the wrong one, and that is the trap. So you have to be careful. About it. So so here is the another thing. So what will I answer? So the first is, what will I answer first? So that is the main concept. So you have to careful about it. In reading is the hardest part, but if you practice a lot, you will get the good result. You will get the good score, and the good score is I think for me it is 6.57 or 7.5. That is enough for you. So here is the main value. So in the reading, the first passage, if you read the first passage is easy. So you have to take less time in this passage, but the third passage is too much hard. So you have to find the actual keyword. Mainly here is the trick, that is keyword trick. I will discuss it. Obviously I will discuss it. So there is the trick. There is obviously a trick. So if you use this trick, you will get the good score. So I have already told you that so in the first passage there is the whatever question, first passage, second passage, third passage, whatever the question, you have to first read the question, then you have to find the keyword. That is the best I think the best advice for you, that you have to find the keyword. Keyword means that what is keyword, the first so obviously you will tell me that what is keyword. Keyword is the specific word that will help you to find the line or find the question on the passage, such as that one of the that is the such as that for example, that I was born in 1990. So here the keyword is 1990, because if you it will be, if you search the 1990, that will easily you can get in the huge number of pages. And after getting the 1990, you just read the line carefully, or read the line or read the passage carefully. The answer will be on that part. So that is the keyword technique. So the keyword will help you, but sometimes the keyword you cannot find the keyword. And here is the another problem, that you cannot find the keyword in every question. So that will be the problem. But here some of the questions such as true, false, or fill in the blank, that are put sequentially. That means that means if you get the one answer, that you have the 5 true or false, and in the 5 between the 5 true or false, you have only one keyword, that is such as 1990. So you just find the 1990, but the before 2 and after 2 you cannot find the keyword, or you cannot find why is it. But it can, because I have already told you that it put on sequentially. So you just search before the 2 question, and after 1990, you have to search the another 2. So that will help you to take less time to find. Most of the people, they try that, yeah, I have get the keyword, okay, but they don't know that the question is present here sequentially. So they will just answer the one question such as 1990, then they go to the another question, then they read whole the passage. And every time if you read the whole passage, that will be, I think you will need around 1 hour in one passage, but you get only 3 hours. You get only 1 hour in 3 passages. And I have already told you that every passage, if you pass every passage, the passage will be harder enough. So you have to careful on this. Now there is the another is because I have told you about true and false. So here in the true or false, there is another problem, that is false and not given, or no or not given, because there are that is quite similar. Obviously that are quite similar, that what is no, what is not given. Sometimes the no is not given, sometimes the not given is no. True is easily, you can find true or yes answer easily, because you will get the highest similarity. You will get the highest similarity on the passage. But in the false and not given, you will not get the actual. So the problem, so here is the main problem, that if you don't get the similarity, or whether it is present or not, so that's the problem mainly. So here the tricks is that you have to put the here you have to always put the some word that the word has the ability to change the statement. Yeah, you have to search those words, such as that I was born in 1990. So if you search this in passage, here maybe write that I was not born. So the was is the ability to change the statement. Even the number that 1990, I was born in 1996, that will be present in. So the 1996 has the ability to change the whole statement. So you have to careful and you have to search the. But in not given, there is in not given there is no the passage in the passage there is nothing about your born, that when you born what do you the number, maybe the number will be found there, but it is not connected with your born, that when you born connected to your connected that when you are born, it will be another statement. That 1990 there is another statement, another people will born, but not you. So that is, so here is the ability to say it is not found in the passage, so the question will be not given. So that is the main funda. If you careful enough here, you will get all 5, 6, 7, all of the number in here. And from my experiment, that you cannot find the 3 true, 3 false, or 3 not given. Don't find. Most of the time, the 2 false, 2 true, 2 not given, but nothing. You cannot get 3 true at the time. 3 statement will be true. 3 at the same time 3 statement will not be true, false, or not given. So here is the another trick that will help you, that if you get the 3 statement true, so obviously you maybe, obviously not obviously, you maybe make a mistake, so you have to resake it, and if you resake it carefully, you will get the problem, you will caught the problem, that yeah, that is my problem and I have to solve it quickly, and then you have to solve it quickly. So that is the main. So here is the another thing, and with the true false, sometimes you cannot even, the problem is mainly in the third passage. I have already told you that the third passage will be hard enough, too much hard. So sometimes they are mainly you cannot find the keyword, that will also painful, that if you don't get the keyword, it will take much time to solve. And for this reason, I have previously told you that you have to take less time, use less time on the first passage. Around 17, you have to complete it around 17 or 18 minutes. Then in the second passage you have to take 20 minutes, and the rest of the time the 25 or 26 minutes in the third passage, because it will be hard enough. So that is the trick about true and false. And so that is that. And sometime the true and obviously the main thing is, obviously you have to read the question. Sometimes it is the problem, most of the people make mistake on it, that some of the question they said that yes, no, not given, and some of the question they told you that true, false, not given. So if you write true, false, or not true, false in the if you write true, false in the place of no, yes, no, obviously the answer will be incorrect. They will not give any mark on this because you made a mistake, because they already told you about to write yes or no, but you write true false. On the other hand, same, besides same, if they told you to write true false, and if you write the yes no, that will totally incorrect and you will get 0. So you have to too much careful about it to you have to take too much careful about it to solve this problem. So another I think the another problem, I don't know, the true false is enough, that is true false, that is enough, I think. But is there any question? Sometime true false, that maybe sometime people, and there is another trick. Okay, there is another trick, that if you get that you get the 3 type of answer, 3 true false, that you make, and you read you mainly get the question, and in first passage, second passage, or third passage, any of these passages you just read, and going to the question section, and if you get the only three question about true false, that means the one is true, one is false, and one is not given. Most around 90% time that will happen. So obviously, so in that time, if you have the less time, that you don't have more time, you just you don't have the more time to answer, to properly read the answer, but you just make it that in the true or false and not given, you just sure about it that one is true, one is false, and the another is you don't have the time to read the whole passage to find the answer. So in that time you will give it not given. Obviously there is 100 not 100, 90 or 95% chance it will be correct. So that is the another funda you will obviously you will enjoy. So everything in the reading portion, everything, that is the that is a game. They will make the question, obviously they will make the question to trap you, but you have to make yourself or guide yourself properly. If you guide yourself properly, you will get the good mark. Yeah. And in the Cambridge, you can say Cambridge book. In the Cambridge book, mainly I think it is the Bible. If you crack the Cambridge, all of the part, mainly obviously 7 to 14, if you crack all of this, you will, and if you get the good mark, obviously there is a high chance to get the good mark on the main exam. So that is I want to tell you. And another, I think another is you can in the internet, you will always you obviously get some passage. First search the reading portion, you will get some passage, and obviously from that and from there you can use this to, and you can solve the passage. Obviously that is the too much time, so I just get tired. So for this reason I just don't talk properly on this. And another thing, there is a high chance. So I have told you that the true false is quietly hard. So if you have this mainly if you don't get sometime the people don't get the enough time, so uh, the student missed one or two true or false answer, because but the main scenario is obviously in the true and false, most of the people, because of its hardness, it is you can, if you cannot the answer, if you cannot get the time that one or two is missed, just missed, you don't think about it, you don't think about it to make yourself pain or give yourself pain. Just forget it. So that I want to tell you that only that portion I want to tell you. I think I have told you reading only the true false portion. In the next I will now I will teach you about the another that is the rest of the question. I will discuss with you the rest of the question, that is the fill in the blank, list of heading, completing sentence, or the that will help you. I think the reading is enough. I think reading is enough in this question. So just do it, you will get the good result, and obviously all the best in reading portion, and practice every day at least 2 tests from the Cambridge, and if you practice a lot, you will gain the number, you will get the good number. And if you get the good number at first, you will get the around 20-21, and that will break your obviously motivation. But after that you will get around 26 or 27. After that you will get 2 or 24. But after a lot of try, lot of practice, you will get the 30 or 32. I think that is the end point. I think that is the end point of your, if you get the 30 or 32, that is enough. I think that is enough for you to go to abroad. So that is for the reading section. Now I will tell you about the fill in the blank. Okay. That is my so okay for reading, and that is my mew 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 mew. Okay, so I've already it's about night, so I have to put on the light. So here mainly I have discuss mainly I have discussed about the true and false section. So here I have discussed about the other section, mainly the other part, that is fill in the blank, then completing sentence, then heading, or the MCQ. Mainly first here I discussed about the fill in the blank. In here the fill in the there are two. In here there are two type of fill in the blank. Mainly one is that the fill in the blank that you have to mainly you will get some box, and the box contains the large number, large mainly the contains sum of the number of word, and you have to put the word from the box and put it onto the fill, and put it onto the blank to fill it. And on the other hand, you don't get any word, you have to check in the passage. In the both time you have to check the passage and correct the and determine the main word. So in here you have to check the passage. In here you have to check the passage, and the correct word you have to put it onto the blank to fill it. So in the both type is easy. Mainly you have 100% accurate. You obviously will have the 100% accuracy on this blank, because only the blank has the ability to only you can get the 100% accuracy in this section. So just make your mind that you will correct all the blank, all the fill in the blank. So if you correct all the blank, you will get around 5 or 10 mark from the blank. So just be careful. So here I have discussed. So here also some tips. So here also some tips and tricks. Obviously, some tips and tricks here. So here mainly the different type of mainly you will mainly the blank. When you read the fill in the blank, read the para of the fill in the blank, you will easily know that whether the blank will contain the noun, pronoun, adjective. In the most time it contains the noun, most time. So there is there are different type of grammatical rules that after the preposition you will put after the preposition there obviously will be noun. Before the adjective you have to before the even the adjective, after adjective you have to put the noun. So that is the main thing. So that is the main thing, and you have to careful about it. So if you know this type of some grammatical rules, you will do better. You will obviously do better. So just think about it carefully. Just read the everything and found whether the blank contain the noun or others, sometimes the adjective, sometimes the adverb. So you just think about it. You have to think about it. Sometime after noun the adverb will be used. Sometimes the noun that adverb will be used. So there are some simple grammatical rule. So be aware of it. Obviously be aware of it. And there is some, I have already told you that there has some obviously there has some fill in the blank which contain the box. Obviously that is harder than the that is quite harder than the fill in the blanks which don't contain any blank any, so don't contain any word, so you have to aware about it. Now the question arise is in the box. So how? Because they make the paraphrase, we make hugely paraphrase on the on that type of fill in the blank which contain the word with who is the provider give you some word. But there is a positive point that if you read the line, that sometime you don't have to save the passage, you just save the word and determine that whether the blank will what the blank will contain or what I put onto the blank. So it can be easy, but sometimes they give the too much, that the blank is 4 but they give the 8 or 10 words, so it is quite hard to pick the actual word, and for this reason you have to seek the passage, and most of the time they will use it in the third passage, and even sometime you cannot get the actual passage. And here I have also motivate you to find the keyword. Yeah, in the whole para, if you find the keyword, the positive point is that is also put on the sequentially, also put through sequentially. So you have, if you get the sequentially means sequentially, and they are very close to each other because it is the fill in the blank. It cannot take the from the first para and the another para from the last para. It will not occur like this. So that is the positive point obviously for you. So you have to aware of it. Obviously you have to aware of it, that yeah, my that is okay for it. So obviously you have great awareness, you obviously have aware of it. If you get the good mark, you will get you have to seek it. And on the other hand, if you find the positive point is, so that is the positive point, that you get it closer. If you find the one of the keyword from, and if you search the before or after, before 3 line or after 3 line, you will get the all of the thing on that para. So just you read one para, you get all of the answer, and obviously it will take the small time, and that is the positive point here. So for this reason you have to completely focus on the fill in the blank first. If you go to the list of heading or something, you have to it will consume more time. So that is the negative point for others. The positive point of the fill in the blank is it will within a short period you will get every answer of the blank. So just be aware of it and just do it. Okay, now that is the positive point. And here the another thing, that you have to check the question fast, that in some question there are right that only one word you have to use, only 2 word you have to use, only 3 word you have to use. The positive point is, if they say the 2 word you can use, so obviously there has some answer that contain 2 word. That is the positive. If they said about, if they tell you that 3 word you can use, so obviously there has one answer, or maybe 2 or 3, but at least one answer that contains 3 word. So that is the positive point. So that will help you. On the other hand, list of heading, the other thing, so these 2 things, the true or false, and these are really quite easy, and between this the fill in the blank is too much easy. So you have to put all of effort on these 2 correction. But on the other hand, that are too much hard, So you have to practice more, you have to know about the every passage, what is the summary, and that will mainly consume your time. So just do it fast, and just do it fast on the this the fill in the blank. First you have to do the fill in the blank and the true false, and after that you have to move on the other thing. Now in the list of heading sometime in the list of heading, before the list of heading, there is another easy thing. There is the scientific name, scientist name. You have to complete the scientist. You have to complete that. There is some different name of different name. Sometimes the different name, that is maybe scientist name or maybe a different type of name, and you have to and the question told you that put the right name to the right sentence, that the scientist and that different type of in the passage, the different type of different type of scientists that told you different type of they talk about different type of species, different scientists, different type of species. So they give you some of the sentence, and after that there are 4 or 5 name, and then you have to match it with the correct sentence. So that is one of the easy. So in that there is also a trick, you have to follow it, and that can help you to consume less time. So in that fast, if you get the scientist name or the name, and they will told you, and if they tell you that there is some, if they tell you that you have to match it, then first read the para, mainly not the passage, all the passage. You have to just mainly here the name is the keyword. So just take one name and search in whole passage about the name, and after that if you get the name, just mark it. Obviously just mark it. In that way you have to mark all the name. Now after marking all the name, then just after marking all the name, then go to the this after marking all the name, then go to the sentence. Now you have to put one of the name, go to the passage and see what they told you, what is their speech. Now after reading the speech, you have to match with this, and here you have to also read the question, because sometimes they told you that you can use more than once. So if the nota bene is this, that if you can use more than one, so there is a obviously there is a funda. They will, you must have to use 2 name within this within this sentence. So that is the main thing. You have to, now you have to read the speech going to the sentence. You have to read, but you cannot get it similarity. They will paraphrase it, so you have to aware of it. Just read the line, read the sentence that you will have to match, and then read the passage and going to the passage and matching them. If you get the match, just do it, not think too much. If you get that that will the answer, so just do it. Don't think about other, that I have to check again. In this IELTS exam, you don't get too much time. That is the negative point. You don't get too much time. So that is the negative. So obviously that is the negative time. is the so here's the main thing. If you use if you use this thing, you will get the good mark. So that is the, and now the another is the list of heading. List of heading is too much hard. You have to read all the thing. You have to read all the thing, and most of the time you will find the actual answer, because in the list of heading, that your passage that contain the 7 or 8 para, so obviously the 8 heading will be, but they will take you or give you around, they will give you around 10-12 para, and some of the para is quite similar, so that is the main problem. Obviously that is the not main, it is the total of the problem. So you have to aware of it. You have totally aware of it. So if you find the answer, so in this year, but the positive point is you have to read. But the positive point is you have to read the first, in every passage the answer, the heading will be the first 2 or 3 line or last 2 or 3 line. Within this 3 or 3 plus 3 6 line, you will get the answer most of the time. And now you have to fix it. Now you have to fix it, that yeah, that will be the answer. So if you get the answer, just do it, and that will help you to find the actual answer. And there is another scam, that is, if you find that the heading and within the passage there is the same line, that is the trap. You will go, if you will go to this, because the one line cannot be heading. The one line cannot be heading of the para. You have to read all the para and to determine that what they tell you. And after that, you just think that yeah, this is quite this para is told me about this, and I can understand. I have read the para and I just determine that yeah, it will be the heading. So just go to the list of heading and find the heading, and then just go for it. So that is the final. So that is the final thing. That is the final in the list of heading. And another thing, the paragraph A will not be the list of heading 1 or I. That you just read that paragraph A and you just write on the 1. So that is not occur. In most of the time, I have experimented that most of the time that will not be occur. So you have to be aware. You have to be aware of it. So that is the main. So obviously that is the main thing. Now there is also the MCQ. MCQ is another hard. You cannot get that, but MCQ, the plus point of MCQ is they told you that this paragraph, most of the time they told you that this question is arise from this paragraph, 5th paragraph, 7th paragraph, 8th paragraph. So the positive point is that you have to just scan the, if they told you that this is found from the first paragraph or second paragraph, you have to scan the second paragraph only, and you have to scan it and then answer it. Most of the time you cannot make the right answer on it, because most of the time they give you two, you can easily cross the two answer, because it is not will be the answer, but the two answer will be quite similar. So you have to choose between this, and if you have to choose between so if you make a mistake, you will mistake between this and between these two option. So you have to read much more time to find the actual answer. So that is the main. So everything depend on this. Mainly everything depend on this. So it is just today I have only mainly I have so today I have only told you about the reading section. There is also another 3 section, and obviously I will discuss it with later, and obviously I will discuss it in the later. So today I'll not, because the video is around 1 hour plus. So if I told that, if I discuss with the 3, the rest of the if I discuss the rest of the 3, that will make the video too much long, and that will not help you. So just within this you have to watch this video properly, use this trick that I have shared with you, and then you have to use practice. Mainly you have to practice too much. You have to practice too much on the list of heading, then MCQ section. You have to practice too much to get the actual answer. And best of luck for reading section, because the reading section is really too much hard. So work on this, work hard. Obviously you will get the good result in future, and that will help to go to the abroad for the higher education obviously. So that is my today's lecture.